Hello guys and welcome back to my page, Messages for Venus. This is another deck review. This is the Fairy Oracle by Brian Froud. And yes, I chopped and edged and cornered this deck like I do a lot of the decks. I feel like I was going through a frenzy just like everyone else when I edited the deck. I modified the deck, but this deck is one of those that will never leave my collection no matter what happens. I feel like I'll probably pass it down to the future children, the future tarot oracle readers of my family, because I feel like this deck depicts what fairies and gnomes and their energy are. Okay, it's very much connected to the Tarot of the Sidhe, which I just did a review on. I feel like this is how actual fairies look like, and the Sidhe are not fairies. They're probably like cousins, but I feel like fairy people, this is how fairy people would look like. So I'm gonna just show you guys the cards. And this deck was created I don't know, maybe in the, I want to say it was either the early the late 90s maybe. I'm not quite sure. You guys can check out my 60-second first impressions of the deck. The back of the cards is not the cutest thing, and it's not the best back to some people. It's not like what you and I would choose, but it fits the deck perfectly. The only thing that I would change is not just the size of the cards and how big they were, but I would change the font so that it can be a little bit more legible. But other than that, it's great. Look, this, if you guys look online for different creatures or weird creatures or humanoid creatures, this little guy shows up a lot. There's a lot of these coming about within our dimension, you guys, and people photograph them and talk to them and try to communicate with them all the time. I feel like they're like time travelers. I mean, I feel like all creatures except for us are time traveling as of right now. I also feel like this deck can connect you very much to the angelic realm, in a different facets of the angelic realm, because I feel like people are so used to seeing other humans that look identical to us except for the fact that they have wings, to be angels. But this is a very good angel oracle deck for those of us that are a little bit more advanced with our intuition and with reading, because with this deck you have to use your intuition. A lot of people like to cut off the names and just use them as the depiction and just see what the card tells you or see what the numerology tells you. But this is one of the decks that I feel connect us, or this is the back, you guys. I feel like this is one of the decks that connect us to other facets of humanity, other lineages of humans, of humanoids that have existed, that will continue to exist as long as our gods and goddesses continue to fight the good old fight in and outside of this planet for all of us, because these humanoids deserve a chance to also live. And I feel like a lot of the sacrifices, a lot of the universal wars, a lot of the fights for Gaia or planet Earth within extraterrestrials and inner beings is the fact that there are different beings in this planet and that we do not all look alike. And I feel like that is the difference between the Earth and other planets where other living beings might reside, is that they all look alike within their world. But that does not happen here. That's not what is happening with us. And I feel like that's what makes us different. However, the other thing about it is that once we start working together again, we can enter a fantastic golden age, a beautiful golden age. And I keep saying that for all these oracle and tarot decks that depict fairies, gnomes in their own right. I don't feel like humans should continue to depict them as horrible beings, because some of them are just energy. They've never been materialized. Like, for example, these two beings have been materialized, but this being has not been materialized. It's still in the universe. It's still trying to take shape and form before it incarnates into an actual physical being. And I feel like this is the story that this deck creates. The colors are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colors, because they're matte but beautiful coloring. I also feel like it's a little difficult for the cards and the definition of the cards or the names of the cards to go together. So this is why this deck is for one of those, one of those decks that should be used for people that are intermediary. Oh my goodness, sorry. I keep burping. Intermediary to perfected, or I don't know, just like if you've been reading cards for a very long time. However, I feel like this deck is not for everyone because it's one of those decks that you have to connect to the beings connected to the deck. You can't just say, I love fairies, and then grab this deck and then say, oh, I don't connect with this at all because it's not the depiction in your mind as to how fairies would look. And then once you have studied this deck enough, you will see within the trees, within the forest, within the parks, you will start seeing them everywhere. Their faces are implanted everywhere. And it's beautiful. And that's when you will start physically connecting to the scythes, to the fairies, to the world of the gnomes, etc. So this deck is one of those decks, again, that can help you with dreaming. You guys can use this deck, put it under your pillow, and it'll take you somewhere else. Okay, the cardstock is not the greatest, it's not the best, and it's one of those decks that's easy to find, but then again, it's not. It's not common, but you can still find it on the internet. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review and what I have to say in regards to these beings. Please respect yourself, water your life, and I will see you guys in the next video.